My journey to Everest Base Camp was a dream come true. For years I had imagined what it would feel like to stand in the shadow of the world's tallest mountain, to breathe the thin, crisp air, and to see the legendary peaks with my own eyes. The trek was grueling, each step a test of endurance and willpower, but the thought of standing beneath Sagarmatha kept me moving. Every aching muscle and every breathless moment was worth it for the promise of what lay ahead. When I arrived, the feeling was indescribable. Cold air, warm heart, surrounded by silent, snow-capped giants. The wind carried a hush, as if the mountains themselves were holding their breath, watching over us. I felt tiny, yet more alive than ever. The sheer scale of the Himalayas made me realize how small we are and yet how powerful our dreams can be. Base camp was a burst of color, yellow tents, blue tarps, and prayer flags fluttering hope into the sky. The camp buzzed with anticipation, laughter, and the quiet determination of those who dared to come here. Trekkers from around the world gathered, united by a shared dream. We swapped stories, shared snacks, and found friendship in the shadow of Everest. The energy was electric, smiles, photos, and a sense of achievement everywhere. Every face glowed with pride and relief, knowing we had made it this far together. I gazed at the Khumbu icefall, its frozen towers a reminder of the mountain's dangers and the courage of those who climb higher. The icefall looked both beautiful and menacing, a gateway to the unknown. My guide, Tenzing, pointed out peaks and shared stories, connecting me to the spirit and history of this place. He spoke of legendary climbers, ancient myths, and the deep respect the Sherpa people have for these mountains. Listening to him, I realized these mountains were alive with legend and meaning. Every peak had a story, every trail a memory etched into the landscape. I felt immense gratitude to witness this magic firsthand. It was a privilege to be here, to see the world from this perspective, and to feel so deeply connected to nature. The sun shone, the sky was impossibly blue, and for a moment, I felt on top of the world. The beauty and vastness of the Himalayas filled me with awe and inspiration. It wasn't just a mountain, it was a living world, and I was lucky to be a part of it. Every sound, every sight, every breath felt sacred. I knew this memory would stay with me forever. The lessons learned here, the friendships made, and the sense of wonder would shape me long after I left. The adventure had only just begun. With every step forward, I carried the spirit of the mountains with me. I stood at the foot of giants, humbled and inspired, ready to see where the path would lead next. The morning was picture perfect. Sunrise painting the peaks pink and gold, air crisp and clear. I sipped hot tea outside my tent, soaking in the peace and beauty. We explored near base camp, laughter echoing as we walked toward the Khumbu icefall. The sun warmed our faces and the snow crunched underfoot. Trekkers in bright jackets dotted the landscape, sharing stories and smiles. Tenzing pointed out animal tracks and told tales of yaks and climbers. The sense of community was strong. We felt safe, content, and completely at ease. Lunch was simple but tasted like a feast with Everest in view. The mountains seemed close yet impossibly far. The sky was flawless, the mood light and joyful. We were honored guests in nature's grandest dining room. It was a perfect day, calm, happy, and full of promise. None of us knew how quickly everything would change. Suddenly everything changed. The air, once crisp and still, seemed to vibrate with a new, unsettling energy. It was as if the mountain itself had awakened from a deep slumber, ready to remind us of its true power. The gentle breeze turned fierce and dark clouds swept over the peaks. The sun, which had warmed us just moments before, vanished behind a wall of swirling gray. Tenzing's face grew serious. He knew what was coming. His eyes scanned the horizon, reading the signs that only a seasoned Sherpa could truly understand. "We must go, now," he urged, and we hurried back to camp. Our hearts pounded as adrenaline surged, every sense sharpened by the threat in the air. The temperature plummeted, wind howled, snow began to fall. The world around us transformed in minutes, the landscape shifting from welcoming to hostile. The bright morning vanished, replaced by urgency and fear. Every step felt heavier as the storm's presence pressed down on us. Snowflakes grew heavier, stinging our faces as the world faded to white. Visibility dropped to almost nothing, and the familiar path blurred into obscurity. Tents and mountains disappeared behind a curtain of snow. The camp we'd called home was now just a memory, hidden by the blizzard's relentless assault. Prayer flags snapped in the wind, the mountain's roar echoing all around. The sound was deafening, a reminder that we were mere guests in this wild place. We pressed on, heads down, fighting the storm's fury. Each step forward was a test of willpower, as the wind threatened to knock us off our feet. The path vanished beneath fresh snow. Danger was suddenly real. Every landmark disappeared, and the mountain became a maze of white. We were no longer visitors, but vulnerable humans facing nature's power. The mountain demanded respect, and we felt our own smallness in its shadow. The storm was here, and we were caught in its grip. There was no turning back, only the hope that we could endure. Our only goal, reach the safety of our tents before it was too late. Every second outside felt like a gamble with fate. Every step was a battle against the elements. The storm tested our resolve, our teamwork, and our courage. The mountain was awake, and we were at its mercy. Survival instincts took over. In that moment, nothing else mattered but making it through the storm. The adventure had turned into a fight for safety. Everest had shown us its true face, and we would never forget the day the mountain decided to roar. The blizzard hit as we reached camp, a true whiteout. In an instant, the world we knew was swallowed by swirling snow and howling wind. The familiar shapes of tents and teammates faded into a blur of white, and the mountain itself seemed to vanish before our eyes. I couldn't see more than a few feet. The world had vanished. Every direction looked the same, just endless blinding snow. It was as if we'd been dropped into a void, cut off from everything but the storm. Panic threatened, but Tenzing grabbed my arm. "Stay close!" His voice was steady, a lifeline in the chaos, and I clung to it. We formed a human chain, each person clinging to the next. Our only hope was to move together, step by step, refusing to let anyone slip away. That simple connection was our lifeline in the chaos. The grip of a friend's hand was the only thing anchoring us to reality. The wind roared, snow deepened, and every step was a struggle. Each movement forward felt like a battle against an invisible force determined to push us back. My face went numb, goggles fogged, fear gnawed at me. The cold bit through every layer, and I wondered how much longer we could last. What if we couldn't find our tents? The thought haunted me with every step, the possibility of wandering endlessly in the storm. What if the storm got worse? The mountain was merciless, and we were at its mercy, tiny figures in a vast, indifferent wilderness. I forced myself to focus, one foot after another, follow the person ahead. The only way out was forward, no matter how slow or uncertain. Tenzing led us by instinct, his knowledge our only guide. He seemed to sense the way, even when the path was invisible. We moved as one, fighting the storm together. Every breath was a reminder that we were still alive, still pushing on. The mountain's power was overwhelming. I'd never felt so small. Surrounded by its immensity, I realized how fragile we truly were. Dreams of adventure vanished. Now, all I wanted was shelter. The promise of warmth and safety was all that mattered. The storm erased everything but the need to survive. In that moment, survival became our only goal, our only thought. Our thin tents were the only hope in a world swallowed by white. They looked so fragile, yet they were all that stood between us and oblivion. I prayed we'd make it. In the heart of the storm, hope was all we had left. Inside the tent, the storm's fury was muffled but relentless. The walls shook, the wind howled, and fear lingered in the air. I wrapped myself in my sleeping bag, listening to nature's raw power. Awe mixed with fear. Nature was in control, and we were tiny in its grasp. The storm humbled me, stripping away any illusion of control. We sat in silence, strangers bonded by a shared ordeal. No words were needed, our eyes said it all. The experience forged a deep connection among us. We became a team, united by survival. As hours passed, fear faded into acceptance. I learned to let go, to trust my guide, my gear, and my companions. There was nothing to do but wait and hope. The storm demanded patience and presence. I realized how small I was and how right that felt. In the heart of chaos, I found a strange sense of peace. The storm revealed the true meaning of teamwork. Holding on to each other was more than survival, it was a promise. I won't leave you. We shared food, checked on each other, and offered comfort in small ways. Laughter and stories helped keep fear at bay. Tenzing and the Sherpa guides were our anchors, calm, experienced, and always checking on us. They secured tents, brought hot soup, and inspired confidence. Their leadership turned fear into trust. We became more than trekkers. We were a family forged by adversity. The storm tried to isolate us, but we built a community inside our fragile shelters. I learned adventure isn't just about personal achievement, it's about connection and trust. No one survives a Himalayan storm alone. The bonds we formed were stronger than any rope. We faced the mountain's fury together, and that changed us. We were no longer strangers, we were a team. The mountain tested us, and together, we endured. Our tents became our world, fragile shelters against the storm's wrath. Inside, they felt like castles, safe havens in the chaos. I'd never been so grateful for simple shelter. We worked together to keep the tents safe, clearing snow that threatened to collapse them. Each trip outside was a battle, but teamwork made it bearable. Inside, we created comfort sleeping bags, headlamps, hot tea, and soup. Small routines gave us control and hope. The storm lasted nearly 2 days. Our lives shrank to the space inside nylon walls. We learned patience, simplicity, and gratitude for the basics: warmth, food, water, and company. The storm stripped away everything but what mattered most. Our tent was more than shelter, it was home. We discovered how little we needed to be okay. The experience taught us to value the essentials. In the heart of the storm, we found clarity. Our little tent gave us a big lesson. The storm was a powerful teacher. I learned respect for nature. You don't conquer mountains. You're lucky if they let you pass. The experience revealed strength I didn't know I had. Fear pushed me to my limits, but I found calm and focus within. Adventure became less about achievement, more about connection and growth. The real reward was the bond with my team and the kindness of our guides. True adventure is about the journey and the people you share it with. Gratitude became my greatest lesson. Thankful for life, health, and simple comforts. Facing loss made me appreciate everything. The storm changed my perspective forever. It was a hard lesson, but a gift from the mountain. I left with new eyes and a deeper sense of what matters. The mountain's lesson will stay with me always. When the storm ended, the world was reborn, silent, pure, and golden in the morning light. We emerged from our tents, smiling and exhausted, but stronger. The storm had bonded us. We were a family now. Digging out camp together felt like reclaiming our world. The mountains looked different, still majestic, but now I saw their power and beauty with new respect. I came for a mountain, but left with a deeper understanding of myself and life. The storm stripped away the unimportant, revealing what truly matters: courage, connection, and gratitude. That experience changed me forever. Our greatest challenges are our greatest teachers. True strength is facing fear and moving forward, together. If you dream of adventure, go for it. Be prepared, be open to the lessons. You'll discover strength you never knew you had. You'll return changed, stronger than before. The mountain's gift is not just the view, but the transformation within. And that is the real summit.